Our 16th year of homeschool is winding up, and I've got a lot of mixed feelings, but I'm feeling really excited because this school year was a good one. So today, let's do probably the last update of the school year. I don't think I'll do a dedicated May update. Maybe. May's a chaotic month for us, so we'll see. But I will be doing a what we loved and didn't love for 9th grade and 11th grade, and those videos will come out probably the end of May, maybe early June. So be on the lookout for those. And maybe it may update. Now the next two videos after this one will be my plans for 10th grade and 12th grade. But I will also say that leads me to my next thing, which is that those are probably going to change a little bit, because one of the things that we did in April, since I taped those, was go to our co-op open house where we can just look at what the classes are going to be, meet the teachers, etc. And Matthew's has changed. Well, his plans may not have changed, but Ben, my rising senior, has not done co-op for several years, and he decided the last minute that he wanted to. So his plans will probably change a little bit, which is good and bad, and you know, it's all good. It's just I don't know what we're gonna do. One thing that I have realized a little too late, and I knew it, but I didn't make plans for it, was that we've really not done a lot of learning together this school year, whether the boys and I or the boys together. And that's one of the reasons we homeschool, is to strengthen those relationships and spend that time together while we can. And so in April, I made a little more effort to get us learning together. I didn't do a great job, but I made an effort, and that counts for something. One of the things that they did first, was to watch a new show on PBS called Revolutionary War Weapons, which is why I did not watch it. I don't care, but they love learning about wars and weapons and history. So it was a perfect show for them. They really enjoyed it. It was a new show. I don't remember what show on PBS it was. Maybe Nova. But if you search for Revolutionary War Weapons on PBS, you'll find it. It was a good show. They enjoyed it. They learned. And it tied in well with Ben's history, because he's been working through that time period. So, but the one we did together was on Disney. They have a short series called One Day. We watched One Day on 9/11, I think last year. This month we watched One Day in Oklahoma City, about the Oklahoma City bombing. I didn't realize it, but they didn't really know anything about it. They had heard of it, but that was it. So that was a good way to introduce the topic. It was a Disney, I think National Geographic was part of it. Very well done. Not gory, or not very graphic, I should say. It was a good show. I would not, just based on the topic, I probably wouldn't show it to young elementary, but upper elementary and up, I think it was a great show to do. Now let's talk about each of my kiddos. First up is Matthew, my 10th grader. One thing that we've been working on this month is getting him to schedule more of his own work. By the end of 9th grade, his sister was doing most of her scheduling. I have not gotten Matthew to that point yet, in part because I've just done it. Not a great reason. So this month we switched that he is scheduling his own computer science and German. I give him a list of assignments that need to be completed each week, and it's going. That's all I can say. We will continue that in May, probably the beginning of the school year as well, and then I'll add, depending on what we finalize his classes are for, I will start adding subjects, probably slowly, And my goal is that by second semester, sophomore year, he is pretty much scheduling all of his classes each week, pacing it out himself. By the very end of the year, I can just, rather than me giving him like a week or two at a time, I can give him longer chunks, and he takes care of scheduling it, because before he goes into dual enrollment, his junior year, that's the plan at least, he needs to be able to do all of that, because I will not schedule college classes. So we are working on that, and it's going. CompuScholar for AP Computer Science has been an absolutely fantastic choice. In each lesson, they get a video, and then there's a short quiz. They do 3 to 5 lessons per chapter with activities, and then at the end, there's a larger activity that encompasses everything they've learned in that chapter, plus prior knowledge, as well as a homework and exam. There are 24 chapters that you must complete in order to call it an AP course. But whether you do it for AP or not, I think CompuScholar is a fantastic option. And we should be on track to finish that before the school year. However, geometry and German, we are not. German may get close. I'm not sure. We'll be cutting it close. But geometry, we are not going to. We have, I think, 3 chapters left, which in some ways, I think he will have completed about 75% of the course. So not bad. However, I really want, and he wants to at least introduce each of the remaining chapters. So we're not sure exactly how we're going to do it during the summer. My thought was to at least do like the first half of each of those chapters, and then finish it if we want to, but at least introduce each of those. This geometry through Math Without Borders has been really good, but it was a bumpy start to get started. Part of that was just we didn't find a good way to schedule it in the beginning. And the other part of it was just it's a very different format. I've talked about that a million times. I will do a video about it. And it's just a different way of thinking about math. So it took us a while to get it going. Before we talk about Ben, let me just throw out Elizabeth, my college student, is getting ready to graduate. So that's part of what's throwing our May off. Not throwing our May off, but like adding to our May, is that we were going up for her graduation and then taking a vacation as a family, which is, it's probably the last vacation that we'll have, the 5 of us. Of course, the tears. Yeah. Any future ones will be a combination of kids and future spouses and whatever, but end of an era. Okay. Okay, Ben, my 11th grader. I had mentioned back in February that he was going to take Math 142 through Study Hall. So it's a $25 course. If you want to transcript it for college, it's $400, and you have a year to do that. But the course itself, $25, and it has been absolutely worth that money. It's absolutely worth the money. So he gets in the Google Classrooms where they have the course, and he gets videos that are kind of a crash course style, that fast-paced, whatever, really good. And then they use the Alex platform for the math itself. Something that I haven't been able to figure out, I talked about in March that he had already mastered so many topics, but what I can't quite tell is if then it gives him more difficult ones as he's going through it, if he just skips problems and he can't tell. I need to get in there and really mess around with it again now. He's almost done with the course. And I will do I'm planning to do a review about it in, it'll probably be July, honestly. I'll aim for June, but probably July. The videos to accompany it are in a Google Classroom, and then they do the math in the Alex platform. And he's enjoyed the videos. They've taught him well. He's enjoyed then going into the math. I forget the name of the math, but it's basically a college algebra, but also applying it to real life. So like last week they were working on interest rates and percentages, and so then they were applying it to interest rates on a loan, for example. I was a little bit worried because we've dabbled in math this year, but not a lot. So it's been he took Algebra 2 as a 10th grader. So I didn't know how much that break in math would make it difficult for him, but he's really transitioned pretty well. I've been impressed. He enjoys the platform. The only thing that's been an absolute irritation is that when he goes to take a test for each chapter or each unit, they have to show their ID because it uses, I forget the name. It's a extension or a website that it'll scan your room and verify your ID to make sure you're not cheating. And every time it has not accepted his ID, so he has to go and contact customer service. They've been great and they do it quickly, they approve it, and now that he's done it a few times, as soon as he pops up, they just approve him. The other thing I want to talk about for him is his government / history. He's doing a 4-year history cycle. He loves history, so that's what we've done. It's beyond what he needs, but he enjoys it. So this semester at the end, we have been focusing on U.S. government. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to use because I wanted something that was more of a complete course, but I didn't want to go with great courses primarily because I wanted him to do more interaction with material he was learning. We love great courses, and I have 2 that I'm going to share that we've added on. But for the primary stuff on this, I really wanted that interaction for him, in part because he's a kid who really does a lot of high input, low output courses, and I wanted to switch it up a bit for this. So I looked at iCivics because we've done a few lessons from iCivics before, but I really just wanted it all laid out. I did not want to make any more decisions about anything. So I hopped over to Khan Academy because someone had mentioned recently that they had a new Constitution section. I don't know when they added it. It still says new, so I don't know, but I hadn't looked at it before. It is really, really good. If you are looking for something for Constitution, I think this is one to definitely take a look at. It starts off with kind of the overview of the Constitution, what the amendments are, how you amend, just kind of a bird's eye view of it. Primary sources include things like George Washington's farewell address, one of the Federalist Papers, so there's a nice variety, and it's the usual Khan Academy style where there are some videos and some readings and quizzes. And then it goes into more in depth about who influenced the Constitution. So it goes back to the Greek writers and some of the earlier governmental influence from England or from wherever. And so it talked about that, and then how they decided to do the Constitutional Convention, what the convention consisted of, all of that kind of stuff. And then beyond that, it goes into what the different amendments are about, and it has interviews with different experts, including like Supreme Court justice and these kind of things that really round out a constitutional course that I would not have put together. If I had decided to put it together, it would have been far more basic. So I think this is an absolutely fantastic option to add on. It's not going to be like a full semester type of elective, but if you need something to add to a government course or a U.S. history course, I think this is a fantastic option. If you're curious why I'm splitting up things like government over 2 different school years, he is not college bound. He'll be doing dual enrollment at our community college and then probably a trade school. So I have a lot more flexibility on how I space things out. And if he was college bound, I would probably just I would either choose to transcript government all as this school year or all as next school year. It doesn't matter. No one's checking. So make those decisions yourself. Anyway, that is our April. As always, I want to hear something about your April. Leave me a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.